Let me tell you something, son. Let me tell you something, daughter. I am all for the mass deportation of illegals, of these invaders. You should know that by now. You should know these things. Tony Todd, I saw you in the comment section last night. Good to see you. Also saw Franny. Good seeing Franny in the comment section. You know I keep saying this because it bugs me. It does. I wish I could tackle all the things that I see out there. Like people living in storage sheds or units because they can't, storage units, storage sheds, because they can't afford apartments anymore. They don't want to afford the American nightmare. They don't want to pay $2,000 a month to live in a fucking studio apartment. I mean, they're done with it. The videos that I see out there, people, they're sick and tired of utility companies keep jacking up the prices. I see videos out there of people just like, they're done with fast food. They're done paying $15 for a fucking combo. They keep picking on, in those videos where people talk about fast food prices, they keep picking on McDonald's. But McDonald's is not the only one. I don't know why they keep picking on McDonald's. McDonald's is not the only one. They're not the only one with extreme high prices. You got Taco Hell. You got... How about Chick-fil-A? I mean, Chick-fil-A, for instance. How about, even when I worked there 20 plus years ago, I couldn't believe that a combo back then was like pushing $6. Even then I knew it was expensive. Because combos back then at every other fast food restaurant was $2.99. And every restaurant, fast food restaurant, except for Chick-fil-A, had a 99-cent menu. So I knew Chick-fil-A was jacked up high prices, but I always defended it. Of course I worked there, but I did defend it. I said it's quality. But there's only so much you could... My defense of Chick-fil-A and their high prices could only go so far. Knowing that they gave up the type of chicken that they were selling and went for the lesser quality, and I covered that a couple years ago. And a combo's like $10 or $11, and you get just like the other fast food restaurants with Chick-fil-A, you get their waffle fries with a lot of air in the container, so you don't get many waffle fries, and you're paying through the nose for waffle fries. I mean, it's just, everything's expensive. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right? So I see a lot of stuff out there that I want to cover. I really do. But I'm also living life. I also am, the past couple of years have picked up on spending time on my other platform, YouTube, just showing stuff that, well, it's probably not BitChute acceptable. Because, BitChute doesn't want to see Man Cave Karaoke. BitChute doesn't want to see just me living life like that. So, no. BitChute wants the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So that's what I give BitChute. And that's okay. That's okay. Time and a place. This ain't the place, and I ain't got the time to show you BitChute. Unless you want to see it. I don't know. I want to say, don't get triggered, BitChute. I have to say this. I have to say this to my BitChute crowd. Merry Christmas. Yes, I know. I know he wasn't born on July 25th. We got it. I know about the Saturnalia. Just roll with it. Sometimes we just have to act like normies to keep the peace. in our lives. You know what I mean? Not everybody understands what we get. I probably said too much. I'm sure someone that I know in the family or whatever is going to comment and go, "What do you mean he wasn't born on the 25th?" I mean, come on, man. With that said, you should know that I'm all for, as I said before, deporting illegals. You hear illegally. What part of this do we not understand? All right? Of course, you should start with the really hardened criminals because they release the worst of the worst from countries, especially third world countries, from the insane asylums and prisons. I've went over that. Other channels went over that. You already know that. If you know, as they say now, if you know, you know, right? If you don't, you know. It is what it is at any rate. ICE documents, breaking news. ICE documents reveal plans for constructing human warehouses. That's a weird way of putting it. Human warehouses? You mean prison cells? You mean makeshift concentration camps out of old warehouses? Is that what they mean? Well, these human warehouses are supposed to house illegals. You know, process them the fuck out of here. All right. They're going to start off with them in Virginia, Texas, Louisiana, Arizona, Georgia, and Missouri. These warehouses are going to hold illegal immigrants, aliens, criminals. Those states so far are going to have these human warehouses. Question: are they going to do it in all 50 states eventually? Probably. I have another question. I thought we had FEMA camps. I've been saying this for the longest time. For years. Why not just send them to FEMA camps? They want to send us. They want to send us patriots to FEMA camps, never to come back. You know, oh, you a Christian? Are you a patriot? Oh, you're a constitutionalist? Oh, off to the the gulag you go. Right? That's what they want. You remember that infamous, documentary that Jesse Ventura did, going to FEMA camps and stuff like that? And I think he went to a Tennessee state representative's office, questioning him about these FEMA camps, and the representative acted like he didn't know what the fool Jesse Ventura was talking about. By the way, Jesse Ventura is a retard. That's a side note. Back then he was pretty cool. He was cool as a wrestler and a WWE commentator. So a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, this is good. This is good that we have these warehouses for these illegals to get them the fuck out of here, process them the fuck out of here. But what happens after they get rid of... Well, first of all, it's going to take forever and a day to get rid of 40 million invaders. It's not going to happen. 40 million? Are you JKing me? I know they say 8 million. I know they say 10 million. I know they say less, more, whatever. It's a huge number. Huge number. It's the UN's army. Are they really going to deport the UN's army? I mean, they're all over the place. Not in a timely manner. Not in the timely manner that we need. However, if these warehouses are old and vacant, and now ICE is buying them to revamp them, to house the invaders, to process them the fuck out of here, what happens? What happens after that? Now they got everything set up to process what? Who? Huh? Who? You? Me? Again, they got FEMA camps. Why you can't use your FEMA camps? Am I missing something here? Are they going to put us in there? Are they going to try to put us in there, huh? This is a police state, by the way. And I really do want to cover that. I heard 2 preachers. I saw a video. I mean, I didn't hear it. I saw 2 preachers got arrested for... where were they? I think it was in Texas, of all places, arresting preachers in Texas. Texas, you got some explaining to do. These NWO cops are everywhere. They're everywhere, man. It's just that you don't see them like we saw them in 2020, giving the beatdowns for you getting out of your home because you didn't want to fucking be locked down. Which, by the way, all that shit was, it was a dry rehearsal for the New World Order. Lockdowns, killing businesses, it was all part of the Great Reset, which is now in motion with the high prices of this, pricing you out of that, AI, robots, digital currency on the horizon, social credit scores, yada, yada, yada. You'll eat the bugs, you'll know nothing by 2030, all that. In 4 years. That's what they want, in 4 years. Can you believe where we're at on the timeline in history? But let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. Sounds good.
We want to turn now to exclusive new reporting from NBC News and new developments in the Trump administration's mass deportation agenda. The government is now looking at purchasing warehouses like the ones designed for clients like Amazon and retrofitting them to serve as detention facilities for immigrants before they're deported. That is according to a Department of Homeland Security official, a White House official, and another person familiar with these plans. Joining me now is NBC News senior Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley with that exclusive report. Julia, this is an extraordinary finding. What more can you tell us about the plan?
Well, this is part of ICE's plans, and they're looking at this now. Nothing's been finalized on how they're
ICE's, not ISIS.
Going to spend the $45 billion they got for immigrant detention. And one of the avenues they're exploring is to buy warehouses. We're talking about Amazon so people get a sense of the scale here. These were developers build these warehouses and they want companies like Amazon to come along and buy them. In this case, we understand a lot of these warehouses weren't purchased. And so now the federal government wants to come around and purchase them in order to house immigrants. I've been told they would be...
Wait a minute, she said Amazon warehouses? By the way, blue light blocking glasses. Amazon warehouses? Amazon going out of business? What's going on? What did I hear?
Purchased, and so now the federal government wants...
Wait, what did I hear? I'm going to rewind that a little bit.
They got for immigrant detention. And one of the avenues they're exploring is to buy warehouses. We're talking about Amazon so people get a sense of the scale here. These were developers build these warehouses and they want companies like Amazon to come along and buy them. In this case, we understand a lot of these warehouses weren't purchased. And so now the federal government wants to come around and purchase them in order to house immigrants.
I've been told certain terminology, certain words bug me. Why can't we just say buy? What is this purchase? I've been hearing that a lot in just regular videos. You know, even average Joes, and you know, I can't believe I purchased this at this store and they charge this much purchase. Can you say buy or bought? Why are people not saying bought? I bought or I'm buying. What's this purchase shit? I mean, that's I know it's a term. I know it's a legit term, but it's just I thought I bought this. The country, the government wants to buy this. And they want to purchase, like the Louisiana Purchase. I don't know. It's just certain things lately have been really annoying me. But
would be mega detention centers, and they want to position them in the south of the country in states like Texas or Louisiana, where they would be close to the airports that deport immigrants. Just for scale, the average Amazon warehouse is about 800,000 square feet. Right now, a typical ICE detention center like the one we see in Washington State is about a quarter of that size, and that's a big one. And so that we're talking about being able to hold tens of thousands potentially in one area. And of course, there are some concerns about bringing them up to code, how they're going to retrofit them. They also say that these would be run and owned by ICE, not private contractors. It seems that ICE wants more control over how this operates. But of course, this is one plan that they're looking into. I'm told it is.
So is that like growing government? Is that like this agency now is growing and taking roots, taking hold, like police headquarters and things like that? I don't know. It sounds like that's what she said, but maybe not.
Not in its infancy, but it's not yet been finalized.
Well, I mean, to that point, Julia, you talk about how complicated it would be to retrofit one of these warehouses. What might the timeline be if and when there's an actual green light to move forward?
So, yes, I think they would have to make that acquisition. As we said, it is moving forward, but it's not been finalized. The thing they have going for them in this case, Kristen, is that they are buildings that already exist. One of the reasons why we saw so many tents going up is because it takes so long to build a brick and mortar facility that is ready to bring in immigrants for detention. In this case, they already have the bones of the structure. They then have to get it to a place where you can provide medical care, where you could provide school if there are families there. These are all things that have been required from court mandates of what you have to do to be able to detain immigrants, to have security staff. So yes, that would definitely take months to get it up to that speed. But we've seen some of these places like Alligator Alcatraz or Guantanamo come online seemingly overnight.
Wow. All right. You always bring us your exclusive news.
Always have fun with you, Kristen.
Yes,
thank
you for being here. We really...
I don't know. I mean, this Julian, is that her name? I'm trying to think, what year? 70s? 80s? 90s? Is it 90s? I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of threw me off a little bit. You know, it's kind of like slim here and a lot here. Kind of like a guy parts his hair. I don't know. It's just, it's a little different. But yeah. What do you think? What do you think? What say you? What do you think? What do you say? What do you think? Is this good? I mean, obviously, this whole thing has been planned for a long time. The invasion of the United States, you know, but they had to have tents put up at first to process them because brick and mortar took so long to do. You know, I think the government and society's compartmentalized. I understand that, and maybe the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and vice versa. But this has all been orchestrated. Obviously, you know that. We know that. And they put up tents, makeshift tents, to process these illegals at first, and that has been covered. It has been covered ad nauseum, and now they're building or buying up brick and mortar facilities, massive ones, to process these illegals. All right. I mean, what's going on at the FEMA camps that have actual playgrounds there? You know, they're right by railroads and stuff like that. What's going on there? Because you know they're itching to put people in these FEMA camps. Why aren't they putting them there? Are they too far off the coast? Are they too far off from airports? Seriously? Really? Well, who cares? Put them there anyway, and then do what you gotta do to get them the fuck out of here. Why are you spending money on warehouses that have been built that Amazon was gonna buy, but they didn't buy, but now ICE is buying, and then ICE is gonna... Oh my God. Get all these illegals and commies the fuck out of here. Yes, but what does that mean after, if it even happens, they're all gone? Are they gonna try to put us in there? I mean, inquiring minds want to know. That's what I got for you. Merry Christmas. Don't get triggered, bitch shoot. If you don't hear from me tomorrow night, which will be Christmas night, it's because it's Christmas night. But I might chime in real quick. It might be a minute video, 2 minutes, that's it. I'm keeping an eye on everything in Clown World. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's just too much to keep up with, and quite frankly, I care to keep up with it, but a lot of me doesn't care, but a lot of me does care. It's a battle there. It's unbelievable, man. Don't be a troll. A moot. Be a weirdo out there. Don't be a troll. If you see a troll, say something. Stuff that ain't truth pipe and smoke it. Make way, because the current must flow if you listen to this. You are the resistance.
Sweet dreams.